Hello everyone and welcome to the Captain's video blog. We are Wednesday, oh god, July the 13th, 2016. I'm saying oh because I realized that with this new haircut I look like a fucking egg. Anyway, so yeah, I went to get a haircut. Was pretty damn complicated. So that's the first time in my life that I walk with crutches. The problem being that, walking with crutches is basically hopping on one foot, but with things in your hands. And first off, I'm not the most balanced person. I I am known for making myself fall very easily, and that's what nearly happened a couple of times while walking. And plus, well, I'm also not the most how can you say that? I'm not good with my hands, so yeah, that it was a pretty terrible thing. I had to make to walk all around the village with crutches for my first time. I think it would be like, I don't know, I can't think of any good simile. But yeah. So there's a lot of wind. I'm in my garage. Actually, we are Thursday. It's like 1:30 in the afternoon because I fell asleep while I was eating. But never fear, I didn't miss all of the Cruiserweight Classic. Like I was watching, I think it was the last fight of the evening between Kota Ibushi and who did he face? I have forgot. Oh yeah, Shen Maluta. I remembered that because I was like, yeah, he's from the same family as The Rock and all that. I think, or is the from the other Samoan dynasty. But yeah, if there is another one. Like it froze and I was like, well, fuck that, sometimes you're just like, oh well, what so yeah, but I saw Cedric Alexander winning against Clément Petiot, who was the French representative in the Cruiserweight Classic. It was an okay fight. It's really complicated to find footage of Clément Petiot or Tristan Archer, as is his usual ring name, because he usually fights in very small indie promotions. But yeah, you can see that he's very strong, and that indeed he's a former student of Lance Storm. You can see it in his fighting style. And holy shit, he has a vicious discus clothesline. I wouldn't want to be in the receiving end, and apparently his finisher is the coup d'etat. We're not saying that anytime soon, unless he gets hired by the WWE. I'm not sure what kind of contract the performers have for the Cruiserweight Classic, if they are in kind of a independent contractor situation, as was usually the case in pro wrestling, or if they are officially WWE employees. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, the first day, I think I missed the first match of the Cruiserweight Classic. Then there was the match between Ho Ho Lun and the brother of Sean Daivari, who represents Iran for some reason, despite the fact that he comes from Plymouth, Minnesota, Wisconsin, one state from the north. So that's really strange. So yeah, and Ho Ho Lun represents Hong Kong, China. He won. He's apparently going to be the underdog, but still, I do think that the final will be Kota Ibushi versus Zack Sabre Jr. because it prints money. If you want to have a final, and if you want to have whatever arena it's going to be in, most likely Full Sail University packed, you gotta have that kind of match. Yeah, like it's not. People think that the cruiserweight classic is going to be flips and shit, but they've made it pretty clear, management, that it would be from all around, all walks of life and all different styles of wrestling. But the fact of the matter is that they have to wait and to wait. Yeah, their weight has to be under 205 pounds, which is a lot lower than in the 90s, where the cruiserweight division was like under 225 pounds. But yeah, the physique of superstars has changed. I think that guys like Shinsuke Nakamura could be cruiserweight by by the old definition, and Nakamura definitely isn't a cruiserweight. Maybe that's because of the strong style. I mean, Kota Ibushi has strong style, and he's definitely a cruiserweight. Um, Talking about Shinsuke Nakamura, I saw the fight that everyone was buzzing about. Finn Balor versus Shinsuke Nakamura definitely looked like the swan song for Finn. Like, he definitely looked like he was going up. Now, is he debuting before the draft? Not sure. Is he debuting on the night of the draft? Probably. Is he debuting at Battleground? Could be, but that would mean that he would definitely be part of the club and insert himself in the 3-on-3 tag. I'm not sure about that, but yeah. The match between Shinsuke Nakamura and Finn Balor was just amazing. That was everything that we hoped it would be. If you haven't seen it, I think it was the New Japan Cup in 2014. It reminded me of that, if you remove the fact that Finn had the Bullet Club on his side. Yeah, it was very intense, but not in the same way that the first match of Nakamura in NXT was against Sami Zayn. It was more in a very technical, very brutal intensity. Like when you see Finn kicking out of the Kinshasa. I was going to say the Bomaye. I mean, it's the same thing, but you gotta be honest with the names. I would have called him Fergoldvit if I wanted to be, kind of a shit poster from Woo or ASP. So yeah, when he kicked out of the Kinshasa, you could feel that, yeah, he had more fuel in him. But the second one at the end of the match definitely took him out. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that. God damn it. So yeah, it was really good. I think that it's a match of the year contender. Very solid match of the year contender. But I don't think that critically it will be seen the same way as Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sami Zayn, because first off, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sami Zayn had that very feel that it was the first time we would see Shinsuke Nakamura in a WWE ring. He was facing the guy who has put NXT on the map. You can say what you want, but if not for Sami Zayn and his glorious matches against Cesaro, Neville, even Bo Dallas, NXT wouldn't probably be the hype machine that it is now. Though I trust Triple H to find someone who would have been good in his place. But Sami Zayn definitely was one of the biggest signings of NXT when he arrived, despite the fact that he had wrestled all his career under a mask and not speaking a word of English. So yeah, I did the match between Nakamura and Balor exceed my expectations? Maybe not, because I actually expected it to go the whole way. I didn't expect Samoa Joe to come and be all pretty about the fact that, yeah, you know, it's like, well, now that I'm the champion, the title doesn't mean shit anymore, and that's why he's facing Rhino next week. You know, because you have to make the champion remain relevant, and the problem is that right now there's probably not a good upper card to face Samoa Joe. And to make it interesting, maybe if you push, I don't know, you could push Cien Almas, or Ty Dillinger, or who knows. There's a lot of names who have a lot of traction behind them, a lot of the audience behind them, and could be a proper, you know, with the right booking, could be a proper threat to Samoa Joe. But right now, nobody is built that way because the focus has been for too long on Finn Balor, and I understand that because he's in that weird position where he sells for NXT, but will he sell the same in the WWE in the main roster? We don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's his last month, probably even his last week on NXT. Now he's going to the main roster, and he's going to do great things. But yeah, who is next? You know, there's been a lot of call-ups that haven't held a single title, and now that you know there's been, you know, a huge milking of NXT. So I don't know. Today the Tour de France is going up the how's it called? Yeah, the Mont Ventoux. I thought that they would go all the way up, you know, with the whole last 60 kilometers being like on the moon, but because of the lots of wind and the very cold temperatures, like at the top, it's like 3 degrees Celsius, so it's a big no, and gusts of wind of like 100 kilometers per hour. That's a big no-no. So they're stopping at a part, you know, that's like still the trees, but it's still a very good thing that like there's huge ramps at this point. So could be interesting, and it's you know, the 14th of July, so definitely would expect some Frenchies to show themselves. Yesterday's stage was very strange with Peter Sagan winning again, like unwillingly, because Chris Froome attacked in the last 4 kilometers, and he went with Sagan and one of his teammates, and Sagan wanted to let the teammate win, but Froome attacked like 400 meters from the finish line, so it was like, oh well, I guess I gotta win. It was funny. So anyway, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. It will be in French because, you know, Bastille Day and all that. Bye bye.